Welcome to BizTalk On with myself, Fazlin, and my co-host Adi Ismail, where we will be talking and getting involved in discussions with business owners here in Singapore and around the region to learn from them their challenges and how they overcame those challenges. And we want to prick their brains for ideas and tips in order to use them to benefit our own businesses as well. So if you're listening to us through podcasts, welcome. And if you're watching via Facebook Live telecast, let's roll in the intro.
Alright, a very good afternoon to each and every one of you who's tuning in right now to BizTalk On. Today is episode 15 and we have a special guest with us. He is none other than a very experienced property agent from PropNex, and he is Mr. Shahlan. Thank you very much once again, Mr. Shahlan, for joining us today. And in part 2, we'll be talking a little bit about divorce cases and matrimonial assets. Alright, so let me just get the ball rolling. As we all know that the cases of divorce is increasing and increasing. One of the reasons is due to financial reasons, right? So based from your experience, Mr. Shahlan, as not only as a property agent but as a father and a husband, how important is finance? Especially when it comes to choosing the right homes for you. Doesn't matter whether it's HDB or private property. Mr. Shahlan, please.
Finance, of course, that's the basis of what kind of homes we're going to choose. Because the first thing that we do normally as a property agent, we're going to calculate for them. If they say to buy, buyers, we calculate how much they pay, how much loan they can get.
Correct.
So what we do normally, we will tell them what's their budget, and then whether they got buffer. Sometimes I look at their job, so their job industry, whether it's vulnerable. So if you're going to take high loan, right, I'm going to assess all that.
What are the kind of jobs that you would say that it's quite stable, so that you could actually advise them to go for a higher quantum property? And maybe you can share with us on that.
Okay, kalau I would say stable job is mostly that works for the government. Right. Mostly government job is stable because they are not so-called profit driven. Any other job, private companies, once they started having low cash flow, they're going to fire. So same like what happened during this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Actually, I think okay, some diverse case. Maybe we haven't seen the real fallout from the property, because for the 9 months from April sampai December, there's a moratorium in loan. So banyak orang can choose not to pay, and I believe most of them choose, especially those with private properties. So if business didn't open, economy not going to function as before COVID. So by January we can see maybe some fallout. They couldn't pay. Maybe certain banks, you can see certain bank sale, but I won't say a lot. Okay, what happened in Singapore properties is not like before during 97, where anyone can just borrow from the bank and buy private property. So we have stringent process on what you can buy. That's why this MSR and PDSR actually helps a lot. The reason the fallout is not so great because the banks make sure you can really afford the property and not really rely on tenant. What happened during the Asian crisis 98? Because a lot of private property owners, they actually relying on tenants to pay. If tenants don't have, they cannot pay. So when they cannot pay, they have to offload this property. That's why the property market crashed. And after that, you seldom see, because property crash basically 2008 only. In history of Singapore, 2008. Of course, we have our peak 2012, 2013, but after that, it went down until this stage. But I won't say it crashed. It's just stagnant and stable. But private property is going up. From 2012 until now, the new launch prices are all going up. Sorry, I divert quite a lot from your initial question.
Can. Okay, when you mentioned they went up in terms of price cover, in terms of the quantity lah, quantity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Before was 900. Now it's start like 1,004 mass market. Condo dekat HDB flat lah. Not condo kat Newton tu 2,002, like Plaza Singapura, Sophia Hill or 2009, 3,000. I'm referring to those condo dekat HDB yang neighborhood condo lah. That's we call mass market condo. It's actually more for us HDB upgraders rather than those condo dekat Orchard atau Newton, more for foreigners and investors. But of course the price went up from about just 7-8 years ago.
Okay.
But is there more upside to private property prices? I mean, for any segment of the private property?
Private property segment, yeah. I mean, from kalau Singapore is a kind of unique. In fact, last time 20 years ago, there was this Hong Kong guy Lee Kai-shing. He was telling that kalau kat satu dunia ni, you want to buy property, there's only two places you will buy. But these two places have something common. When you look at the map, the name of the country is bigger than the country itself. Okay, which is Singapore and Hong Kong. Okay, that means it's all about the land available. So Singapore, but recently because Hong Kong went through the protest last year, so the focus is more shifted to Singapore, and especially during the COVID time. You know that a lot of business owners applying wants to become Singapore PR. There's a lot of application because they say that Singapore government is quite generous in giving the relief and grant and all that. And of course, our political stability also helps. The government don't change. In a way, some people don't like. They want government. But if a government don't change, whatever policies they implemented, they can carry through. If the government keep changing, the new government will come out with a new policy. We look at our neighboring country. So certain plans cannot carry on because new government take over. But with the same government, there's so-called political stability. A lot of investors is looking at it, and then they kind of confidence that Singapore is a good place to invest. So, but because of that also, it also affects the public housing. So means to say that HDB flat pun naik lah price. That's why in 2000, which election that 2015, where they start losing votes because prices are terlalu tinggi. So they started implementing cooling measures. So what our government trying to do, they're trying to dealing, they're trying their best to dealing HDB from private property. Private property, they want to let it go. Okay, if can go up as high, it's a free market. That's the free market. But HDB, they want to make sure the prices don't go too high. So what they do is they implement a lot of measures. In fact, kalau you tengok like older flats tak boleh pakai CPF. No, when you are certain age, you cannot use all 100% and all that. Those are cooling measures. Means to say they don't want to flat of all price night. Last time, I remember 2012 was selling a 5-room flat at Holland V. It was selling about 850,000 5-room, but an older flat. The flat was I think year 2000, built 2000. But a 1978 flat was also selling about 950,000. That means flat dah lama masih jual harga tinggi. But that time,
I see.
A lot of measures belum ada. So what they do when they put a lot of these measures, the older flat harga dia turun. So harga turun is good actually for buyers lah. So they put a lot of measures to dealing that in Singapore is a good place for investor to masuk. See when a lot of investors buy, what happen? Our government can collect a lot of revenue, stamp fee and all that. Developers charge and all that. So they make billions of dollars. So for Singaporean, what they do, you want grant, how much? 20,000? Okay, we give you 30,000, we give you 50,000. It's not a problem for our government because they collected billions from all these private properties. So in a way, the profits they give back to Singaporeans. They helping back. If you think you cannot afford, it's too high, we have ways to help you.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective.
I'm not a PAP supporter, but then of course I don't say every policy is no good. We must see the bigger picture behind every policy.
I mean,
people complain about 99 year. Actually 99 year flat memang daripada dulu you beli dah 99 year, bukan sekarang 99 year. When people start buying HDB flat from late 60s, it's already 99 year. Right, but it's not an issue because by the time 1980, the flat 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and everywhere around the world, mostly in a condensed area, the property is always 99-year lease. If not, how can the government take back and replan? If not, freehold, example, kalau semua freehold, then one day there's no property to buy, all our youngsters. And you won't see a 3-room at 270,000. Maybe the 3-room now is 500,000 if everything is complete whole.
Okay, Shahlan, can I just ask a question? For properties that are HDB properties, right? I mean, over the years, some of them eventually will go down to
zero.
Some people say zero value, right? But there are some properties, like I know of a friend of mine who hold an old property in Bedok South, and then the government actually take over and then offered them a new HDB flat, to buy over. So that kind of program, is it for everyone or is it for just a few lucky ones?
Few lucky ones. Basically, they get 3 benefits. First thing, they're going to buy your flat higher than the resale market. Example, kalau you jual 300,000, maybe they buy slightly more. Then they give you a kind of cash to moving, I think $30,000. And then the new flat that they're going to build, you have a priority and then a bit of discount priority. But this kind of, okay, what's the main difference between HDB en bloc and the private property en bloc? HDB en bloc, you cannot choose. Macam you 3 blok situ, then you gather all resident, okay, kita nak en bloc kita right to HDB. Kita tak boleh buat gitu. Tapi
that is for private property je.
Yeah, property, all the owners can come together and say, okay, we want en bloc.
Come together, yeah, correct. Yeah.
So that's the main difference. So, but from what I believe, I don't think our government will let a flat terus sampai 99 year. Maybe one day or so along the way. I mean, that's my personal opinion. Even though a minister said they will not en bloc everyone, because if he also cannot say we will en bloc, then it's become a political issue. But in order not to become political issue, they might en bloc. So because to one day reach 99 year and halau semua orang, it doesn't look so good. Looks good on them.
All right.
Yeah.
So basically, you are quite confident that eventually they will actually en bloc the flats and.
Okay, since we are on air, I don't want to comment on that. Belakang I can say.
Yeah, I mean, there's confidence in them doing that, but of course, there's no guarantee, lah.
Yeah. Yes, correct. No guarantees. But one thing good about even old flats kalau I tengok old flats near MRT, the price quite stable. Kalau generally flat become tua, dah macam 30-40 flat ada jatuh kan. A flat dekat MRT stable because there's always demand. Kalau dia BTO, dia dah jual 5 years, then dia nak beli resale kan. Selalu dia akan minta, okay, I want to buy this area. Then notice area tu, it's either near the parents atau near their workplace atau MRT. And I notice the price stable. Maybe 5 room around the whole estate turun 350, 400, but that near MRT can still 500,000 walaupun flat dah lama. This I notice a trend.
Okay, boleh. And yeah, correct. We are supposed to talk about divorces cases.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Tuan, I just want to know. When a lafaz talak or talak is being lafaz in that sense, what happened to the house?
Okay, straight away, of course, we have to report mahkamah syariah and so on, then go through the process. Okay, the house, you can only execute after the whole process over lah, court order the issue, then in most cases kena jual, and then we take it from there. But tapi kalau they want to do a lot of things like one party want to buy over and so on, so normally they have to discuss. Okay, two things. If a party wants to buy over, let's say the wife wants to buy over the husband share, and then husband dia take CPF and so on. The other party have to agree. Second, the wife must be financially capable to take over. It's not just I want to take over, I want to buy over. So I have a lot of this clients yang cakap, I want to buy over, my husband agree, but check tak boleh. They don't have the funds to buy over.
Okay.
So you kalau the other party agrees to buy over during the negotiation though, before court order, that means court order kena tulis yang apa, they going to buy over. You can also do that, you want to buy over, then in case kalau cannot afford to buy over, sell open market. But what happens is sometimes the court order dah keluar, dah 1-2 years court order keluar, then baru dia tengok, I want to buy over. So if you want to buy over either party, then kalau the other party agree, check financial okay, then they have to tukar the court order. That's called a variation of court order. So kena bayar sum, and tukar. Then after that baru boleh jual.
Okay, bila you mention open market, because there are some people, ada setengah orang yang I berbual kan, they mention to me when you sell at open market, you have to sell it lower price. Betul ke?
Tak, there is no requisite. This is just, that one is just apa orang cakap, dia panggil myth lah. I want to buy cheap lah, nak cari rumah divorce. So what, they thought rumah divorce cheap, not really lah. Yeah, they have a time frame, but it's not, let's say by 3 months kena jual. And a lot of people think divorce house can be sell low. But why the perception? Because sometimes rumah teruk, kadang-kadang okay. I mean I beli rumah divorce, pergi tengok, tak terjaga lah, means wife dah keluar dengan anak, and so on. So they expect to be low. But some are still very nice house, jaga. Some of them can be still living there. It all depends. But the most yang I would say the not so good thing is kalau divorce dia negative sale. Negative sale, people tak dapat cash. Then the issue is sometimes they cannot on their own, they cannot buy. So the husband cannot buy, the wife also cannot buy. They don't have enough. They don't have enough CPF, and then they couldn't take loan because some of them maybe past 2 years kerja sendiri atau some of them bawa Grab, example don't bawa Grab, then tak declare income, declare low, so the loan very small amount. Let's say loan dapat 100,000, CPF ada 150, then 250, okay, 250 maybe can buy, but a very old flat lah, maybe Marsiling ke Taman Jurong and so that. But some of them also cannot buy. So the problem is the after, what happens after that.
Back to the myth of always that houses like this will usually be low. So it's not actually about the house the owners are divorcing, but rather because of how well kept that house is, right?
Yeah, I mean there's the whole picture lah, rumah tu kat mana and so on. But and then also we as agent bila jual rumah, we don't have to say to the buyers that came, this is a divorce case. We don't have to say. It's only after the offer closed then we say it's a divorce case. Because sometimes kalau divorce case one spouse tak tinggal situ, after the sign kita kena bilang dia, okay, can I come back the next day, and we have to get the other party to sign. Kena jumpa the other side. And sometimes kerana dua agent kan, so kita let's say I jual, husband side dah sign, then I bilang agent tu, then I must meet the wife punya agent lah, ask the wife to sign. Itu kalau everything okay lah. Kalau yang macam
I see,
agree and so on, because kalau divorce case important sekali, must work together.
I see.
Because the only
Kalau
thing that
kalau wife punya agent tak agree, I mean kalau wife punya agent tak, maksudnya kalau wife tak agree, then agent dia pun have an issue, right? So how
macam
do you all?
kalau kita call first, once let's say client kita call, okay, then kita check semua, then kita tanya apa agent sana, kita call lah, then kita tanya, your website berapa dia expecting Nah, dia will tell them mahal lah, how to get that price. Tak tahu dia minta gitu, then sometimes tak terjual lah.
Tak terjual That means is there a time limit tak? That means you have to sell this property. No matter what, you have to sell this property at a certain time.
God will state within 2 years atau and so on. And sometimes not realistic kalau one side asking to how you can get the court to sign for on their behalf.
Okay.
Let's say so there's also certain things like let's say kalau rumah tu kena seperti HDB flat kena ethnic quota. That one another issue also. Yeah, ethnic quota kalau depends on area lah. Kalau area macam let's say Pasir Ris ke Yishun easier sikit lah. Tapi kalau ethnic quota you kena those high quantum estate macam Jalan Bembina, Queenstown, Bishan, those are tougher lah to sell. In fact, you have to sell lower lah. It's not because divorce. It's because it's ethnic quota. You know, like recently I got one listing for 5-room Clementi. Transaction about 720. So not divorce, 720, 750. So, but by right, the house you can sell maybe like 100k lower, then can get buyer.
100k lower is a lot.
Yeah, but it's a quantum.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's then you can, because you expect a Malay to buy your flat at 750,000. I mean, we have to. I have to be frank. Not many Malay buyers with that kind of quantum can afford that. And if they can afford that, they probably go for condo. So we're looking at other maybe Indian atau Chinese mixed marriages that they buy. So, but if they buy, they know they can command a discount, because when they buy, the next time when they sell, they face the same problem. So that's the reason why they sold on that lesser price. And it takes time to sell. If you're lucky, 3 months. If you're not lucky, can be 10 months, 1 year. I've heard even 2 years pun nak dengar. Actually quota. Sampai tukar agent, sampai go back to the first agent. So kalau divorce and all this, it just adds on.
Okay, I'm a bit clear about that. Thank you very much for your clarification. Okay, so pejam pelik pun kita dah sampai 1 jam dah. In fact, 1 hour 10 minutes. So alhamdulillah.
Oh yeah.
Sekejap je Adi, how about you?
I'm good actually. I've learned quite a bit on divorce cases, and also Shahlan has basically thrown a light on the fact that it's not because of the property being owned by a couple that's about to be divorced or divorced, but it's rather about the property itself, related to the location and how well kept it is. So yeah, that's something I think that our audience can actually take into account, right? That if they buy a property that is slightly lower than on the market, there could be other reasons as well. Yeah.
Yeah. For divorce case, murah. It's just a perception.
Correct.
I see. Okay. Shahlan, this is the thing, because we see a lot of people have been, during this COVID-19, and a lot of people have been getting retrenched, and many are out of jobs. So do you encourage them to go into the property industry? Do you encourage them to be a property agent just like yourself?
Okay, if you want to go inside, because of COVID, you tak ada kerja masuk, then you have to take exam. So the exam is only twice a year. So by the time, then you might not pass the first one. So by the time you enter, could be 1 year later. I got one guy who actually wanted to join me January 2019. So until now, they belum clear also the paper. Okay, that one satu. Once you clear the paper, because what happened, our authorities nak restrict the people that got the license. So they
Okay.
every exam maybe they make, I do not know, maybe 5 to 10% je yang pass. Even though you pass, tapi they only can give 5 to 10% pass.
Any reason why the government is trying to control that? Maybe because there's a lot of property agent in the market right now, is it?
I think maybe they feel it's too many. I think now
I see.
30,000, but the active one maybe 10,000. I think 10, 15,000, because there's also a bulk of property agent that do rental, those high-end rental, the condo, they specialize. So they are not really inside the market that buy and sell. But yang lain semua they are doing the HDB market, and just like all of us are doing. So they want to control lah. They want to control. So that's why instead of kalau macam NUS, okay, one batch 150 medical student, dia tak, siapa nak ambil exam semua boleh ambil. Tapi yang pass kita kasih sikit. Jadi you spend your money there, and after that maybe kalau you fail first time, second time, third time you pass, then dapat masuk lah. By that time it's already 1 year plus. Then you come to the actual business, because whatever you learn during your exam is all about those laws and so on. It's not, and then whatever you learn during when you become agent is actually different. It's now how to get those clients, how to get people to engage you, how you engage them. Then the like doing calculation, certain law. Then which segment you want to go? So you cannot learn everything kan. Macam some this industrial, you want to do central kitchen, you have to mix with those kind of people. You want to do the market, some of them they want to do private property market, new condo. So they cannot join any agent. They must join the agent team yang ada strength in that. Then it's a faster learning curve. So whatever team atau agency you join, it depends on what you want to do actually. Okay. So not join. Of course, anyone can do any type of property, but you must find the one that has those strengths. So if not, you come in and then you realize this is not the correct team, you move again, anything, because kalau COVID tak ada, then you join kan. Okay, let's say kalau you pass exam pun, by the time nari, let's say I meet Fazlin nak jual rumah, berbual dengan dia, then dia cakap okay, then by the time I jual rumah, then get my fee and all that, it can be 6 months later. Yeah, it's a long time. So it's not just a solution untuk tak ada kerja join property. And also it's different. Like 20 years ago when you join, you can basically compete with the siapa yang dah ada kat dalam lah. You just have to come out. So nowadays it's totally different. Social media and all that lah. I mean, some make it, some don't. Some make it over time, slowly and build up and all that. Some make it very fast with the help of maybe the teams around that. And of course now you see like trend artists pun dah start masuk, those with fashion name. So it's easier for them, even though they might have less experience. Yeah.
Celebrities, is it?
Yeah, celebrities
turning into property agents.
Yeah, those kind of. There's quite a number lah. This one to join, that one to join. So in terms of marketing, maybe dia dah untung sikit lah marketing, because orang dah kenal nama.
Correct.
Correct. All you get experience. The only thing don't have is experience, because experience needed when you want to solve problem. Sometimes experience is not a problem, is to avoid problem. When you have experience from the start, you know, okay, you can do this to avoid this problem. So kalau tak ada experience, you just go along, then when the problem come, you have to solve it.
Actually orang pun dah kenal juga Untung SHAHLAN kan. Dah macam selebriti pun.
Ya, kenal lah.
Tapi no joke 21 years of experience that one I have to really respect you for that lah.
I mean, I've seen the property market went down 2002, 2003. Actually, what Singapore need at that time, we actually need a game changer lah. Kalau Singapore basis, I believe was in the 90s. But after that, 2001, it was stagnant for a while. Until game changer is when they announced the Sentosa and the integrated resort. That's a game changer. So after that, the property start climb 2007, 2008. But the Lehman Brothers crisis 2008 jatuh sekejap. But it pick up, 2009 pick up. Then I think Singapore property peak was 2012. 2013.
Yep.
Was the highest. But after that, it went down, but it doesn't crash. Cooling measures. If Singapore don't put cooling measures, the authorities, the bank will be in trouble. Because kalau price naik tinggi-tinggi, let's say a property which costs 1 million, maybe kalau tak ada cooling measures, maybe 1.4, 1.8. So kalau crisis happen, it crash, then bank is in trouble. So Singapore punya economy, basically the main thing is the banks and the property. So the government have to protect. Yeah.
Right.
So okay, what's the next game changer kat Singapore? The next game changer has already been announced by the PM. Is the Southern Waterfront. Southern Waterfront is I think you know the CBD area, right? There's daerah mana?
Pasir Panjang area, right?
No, just Vivo City, around those.
Yeah, correct. Around the area.
That was a game changer. So the port they going to clear to the west. Once that one become rumah semua, then I think property will start naik lagi. And of course it reflects, the price affects all the side. Kalau dia naik 3,000, 4,000 per square feet kat situ, kat daerah jauh macam Punggol ke Yishun semua akan naik. That's a game changer. Of course that's a plan, but kalau tak perasan, Paya Lebar Airport going to go the RSAF punya base. Once they clear, around there semua akan orang cakap jadilah around there. Because kalau the flat dah naik, then they don't have any plot ratio. That means condo dah naik tinggi. Even new condos that 5 years old, they can also en bloc also. Potential. The condo, another 10 years become 50 years condo. They can en bloc. Because kalau sekarang restricted, maybe tingkat 12. But tapi kalau A-base dah tak ada, they can make 30, 40. Developer can en bloc. So you look at this particular, these are the one that potential to make. So you want to buy property, there's a few areas that you should look into.
Basically, Tuan Shahlan, you were saying that those that are near Paya Lebar Air Base, right? So which parts of what you're talking about? Is it Hougang area or is it Tampines? Or
it can be Hougang. Correct. Because kalau you talk map Paya Lebar area, Hougang, Tampines yang I don't know, I selalu jatuh tapi tak tahu apa road tu yang banyak condo sekarang, QB. The road. Itu semua border of the airbase. So Pasir Ris, west side of Pasir Ris, then Punggol memang harga tinggi lah. Itu from 2018, 2019 dah naik. And then Lorong Halus also they going to develop macam Tai Seng a lot of industry tapi bawah dia shops. Lorong Halus will be completed like that. Their full lane will be clear. They're going to change other industry, the workshop. Singapore is totally going off all this. So you look at all these changes. Yeah. Normally when people buy property, I will explain to them in detail. This is called transformation. Quite important for them to know because it actually affects orang punya retirement. Going to your property naik ke tidak in the future.
Okay.
All right. So I really appreciate you coming in now, joining us in this session. Betul Encik Shahlan. Thank you very much. Right. So I'm sure we have benefited from you coming in and all that. So inshallah we'll catch up again. Thank you very much. You have a very good Sunday. Yeah.
Thank you. Atau apa lah malam ni?
Ada apa tak dengar?
Ada pukul 5 ada bunga.
Ada bunga api, ada baris
Ada bunga api lah malam. Okay.
Alright. Okay, you too. Have a good weekend. Happy National Day to you as well. Take care. We catch up again insyaAllah. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Anda untung.
Okay, so Adi.
Yes.
So how's
Today is
How's
one
it so far?
beyond the 1 hour mark. And I think Tuan Shahlan has a lot to share, all this out there. And feel the energy, and the knowledge that's bursting out of from the team, from the sharing.
Yep.
Yeah. But
He's a very experienced guy lah.
Yeah, he's definitely very experienced. And why I'm very interested in asking him around the Paya Lebar area because, I'm living around the Tampines side. So it's
Yep.
actually quite near the Paya Lebar Air Base. And I think
Right.
he has brought forward quite a good point that
Right.
you got to look for a game changer, right? A game changer which will basically give the reason or more reasons for your property to actually increase in price, right? So that's something
Yep.
that I've said today.
Yeah, true. I totally agree. He did mention that the next game changer, as announced by the government, will be around the area, Pasir Panjang area, right? If I'm not wrong. I think they are developing that area, lah. I think to make it really, really, with more amenities coming up and all that. So make it more vibrant, and the lifestyle is because it's facing Sentosa, right? So I think the
Yeah.
lifestyle and all that, they're trying to revamp it, lah. I think the area. Yeah. I do not know about my area because according to some people there is a East Coast plan or something like that. So I so I hope I hope the plan is will be enticing enough lah for us who are staying around this area definitely. We'll see, right? But yeah, I believe you're correct because you mentioned that the Tampines area, right? There's a whole stretch, if I'm not wrong. There's a lot of condominium development around the area, right? The one facing the quarry or something.
Yeah, the one that's facing the quarry, and it's actually quite close to a civil defense HQ.
Correct. That area, right? I think there's a condo belt, if I'm not wrong. The whole stretch is filled up with condo developments there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very interesting that the last development that was sold there, the price was quite high, and but still people buy, the condos in that
Oh.
stretch. So I think
Okay.
they're looking towards, they might be looking forward to the what Shahlan has mentioned, which is that Paya Lebar Air Base, once it goes away, so that area is going to be developed. And
Right.
and we don't know what's going to be developed there yet, right? But definitely, the government will think of something because that
For
whole
sure.
land space, right, it's quite huge,
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it
looking
is. It
forward
is.
to that.
Yeah. Definitely. Let's look forward to better developments or more interesting developments coming up in the future. Definitely. All right, Adi. You have any promotions to offer because I believe that you mentioned about FLTZ, right?
Yep. Yeah. Basically, FLTZ is FLTZ, or also known as Flitzer Performance. Yeah, we have a fan page on Facebook, and you can see some of the products that are being sold are basically steering wheels, carbon fiber steering wheels. So if let's say you are interested in changing your steering wheels to something that's more racer worthy, you could actually go to our fan page and get and when you message, leave a message on that fan page and just quote BizTalk on, and you will get a 10% off for this period only.
Right. So you guys, those tuning in who wants to have a racing feel in your car, by changing your steering wheel or something like that, you guys can just go to FLTZ. I think there's an FB page, right? You mentioned an FB page, right?
Yeah, the FB page is just type Flitzer Performance, Flitzer as in FLITZER, and the word
Right.
performance, and you can actually search it on Facebook and you'll get it. You'll find it quite easily. And just if you need a steering wheel that's going to look cool, that's going to last for years, yeah, just hop down, over to the page and give a message, and just mention us, BizTalk on, and you'll get a 10% off just for this month.
Right, 10% off just this month. So a great discount, a great offer, definitely from Flitzer Performance. You guys definitely need to get it. All right, so thank you very much, Adi.
Yep.
Okay, so there's another announcement that I would like to make on behalf of Mega Express, if that's okay with you.
Yep, definitely.
All right, so Mega Express International Private Limited, an exhibition organizer of many wedding affairs and halal food exhibitions that have been organizing their exhibitions at Singapore Expo for the past 22 years. We will be organizing Singapore's first virtual wedding exhibition, targeting the Malay Muslim community, right? At the end of this month, from the 28th to the 30th of August, it will be a 3-day virtual exhibition, right? And there will be many interesting activities and programs, including Zoom session between wedding vendors and wedding couples, right? And these business matching sessions will encourage dealings and bookings to be made all via online. So for couples who's trying, who's tying up their wedding knots, you can visit www.megawedding.sg, www.megawedding.sg to choose your preferred wedding vendors. And what we'll do is that Mega Express will link you together via online Zoom session. So this will be ongoing on the 28th to the 30th. So do check that website out. Right. So yes, Adi, that's it. Maybe that's it for today, I guess. Right. Let's look forward to the next one next week on same time, I guess. Or it will be on Sunday, definitely same day, but it will be at night, right? It will be at 8:30 p.m. if I'm not wrong. Right. So you have any idea of who our guest will be? Roughly?
Next week we'll be inviting Shamir Wahid from Din Advice. Yeah, he's the mortgage guy, an ex-corporate banker, and he's going to share with us some tips on when you get a house. After when you buy a house, you definitely need to get a loan, and what are the tips? What are the things that you need to look out for when you get this loan? And he's going to share with us all those tips. And looking forward to hear from an expert who's in that industry.
Yep. Right. I think that will be really, really interesting. Let's look forward to Shamir next week then. There will be a lot of other topics as well. Very interesting topic that I've heard him talk about it. So I'll definitely want it to share with you guys. All right. So let's look forward to next week then, Adi.
Yeah.
All right. So a very happy National Day to each and every one of you. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your National Day. Have a great long weekend. All right. We'll see you guys next week then. Take care and stay safe, guys.
Adios.
Ciao.